I talk often about this concept of how do you go from BPO vendor to BPO partner? Um, the whole risk piece is, and the losing of control piece is absolutely an initial feeling that you have. But when you're working and selecting the right BPO partner that understands um, your KPIs, your processes, your short and long-term goals, and they are proactively working with you on weekly reviews, monthly reviews, making you feel more and more confident and trustworthy that they have control of what's happening, you feel more at ease. So it's not a loss of control, it's a loss of worry. It's a loss of heartburn. You actually are seeing a partner that you've selected take proactive measures to keep you very abreast of performance, of process, of the good, the bad. And over time, that leads to a great deal of trust from what I've seen. Now, conversely, if you have someone that's a poor communicator and they're a poor performer and they're not asking for feedback and they're not being transparent with you, then sure, it's gonna give you those feelings that you're losing control and you made the wrong decision. But it really comes down to finding a proactive partner that communicates and demonstrates that they want to be a partner and not just a traditional outsourced vendor.
So it's interesting, right? If you look at, say this is still in-house, right? Somebody's considering outsourcing for the first time, they run it in-house. How much of the time of your supervisors and leadership is spent in dealing with the day-to-day repetitive stuff? And if they didn't have to do that, what could they do? They could take analytic feedback. They could take feedback from the BPO, giving them, we keep seeing the same thing happening. Maybe there's a process issue, and actually do something with that. So the opportunity in that partnership you're describing for improvements overall that improve CX within the same budget, or maybe even start to save money, you can get to those things that make a difference. Where I think most people listening to this have run a center in a brand, there just isn't the resources to do that. Like, you want to, you have all the best intentions in the world, and then you walk into a Monday morning and it's Friday afternoon by the time you've blinked, and you've not got to any of those things. So I think just having the understanding that the outsourcing helps you have more visibility to the bigger picture stuff, and then potentially make improvements.
Yeah, I guess one more thought on that is I've ran centers both for N brands as well as BPOs, and you run them very differently. To your point, the supervisor at an N brand BPO, they are often doing a lot of things outside of their job. They're supposed to be monitoring performance, coaching performance, making sure that workforce management and quality is up to snuff, and they're watching the operation. They're not, right? They're stuck doing a lot of administrative tasks. They're stuck in a product meeting. Then they go to marketing meeting. Then they maybe have a meeting with the IT team. And all the meanwhile, their team is left on the floor without really anybody really driving performance. So there becomes an inefficiency perspective. When you outsource, you have typically a dedicated supervisor on a program that's monitoring every nook and cranny of performance. So to your point, you're driving efficiency, you're ultimately driving performance,